to move Mail over to second. And then came yet another error as Bryce Wilson hit one to the shortstop, but he booted it. That loaded the bases. And eventually, actually, Mail wound up scoring off that error to make it 4-3 Orange. Debo moved over to third, and then Austin Sykes sent a ground ball to shortstop, and that was booted. That scored Debo to make it 5-3. Wilson went over to third. Cole Campanile walked, and then Chandler Compton wound up with what was called a fielder's choice as a force out was made to retire Cole Campanile over at second. But Bryce Wilson wound up scoring in that one. That made it 6-3 in favor of Orange, and that was all the scoring in the game. South Johnston wound up after that, those first two innings where they scored 3 runs, they only had 3 more batters reach for the rest of the game in the last 4 innings. One was a walk by Zach Bridges. That was a leadoff walk in the 6th. And then Zach McLamb singled to start the 7th, moved over to second after a base hit by Nash Johnson. But after that, they couldn't do anything with it, and Bryce Wilson takes the win in this one. And for Bryce, he comes away with the win. A complete game win for Bryce. He throws 116 pitches. He struck out 13, gave up 2 runs, 1 unearned. And he comes away with the victory, giving up 6 hits in the process. And Orange comes away, Jamie, with a 6-3 victory. And now they will wait. I didn't mean to wake you up there. I always do my post-game recap. That's my post-game recap.
To make a long story short, Orange won 6-3.
Yes, but I had to give the inning-by-inning summary because we're not names here. Names.
I understand.
Got some names.
I understand.
But big one here for Orange, and it'll be interesting what happens coming up here in the round of 8. Orange play either Topsail or Triton. And tonight, it was about Bryce Wilson once again, but now the question is going to be how much pitching depth does Orange have? And that's going to be the question whether Orange faces the Pirates or the Hawks.
Yeah, just to wrap this game up real quick, Bryce came out, Jeff, and we've talked about it. He wasn't really, I mean, he wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. He didn't do bad, make mistakes or anything like that. They just came out hitting. And I think it knocked him back a little bit. But you've seen Bryce carry this team so much over his years playing here. But at that bottom of the first inning, with help from South Johnston's shortstop, obviously. Yeah. But they kind of got his back the way he's always had theirs. And they gave up 2. So Orange came right back up and put 3. And I think that allowed Bryce to relax, allowed him to breathe, kind of press reset and say, okay, my team got me even. Let's go from here. And round about the 3rd inning, Bryce was pretty untouchable there.
Yeah.
Until the top of the 7th, where Bryce, even for someone as accomplished as him, was kind of going in uncharted territory with the amount of pitches he's thrown in consecutive games. But I thought he held up real good. His slider was excellent. I thought they had some timely hitting. Orange did. I know Cole Campanella played a good third base. Austin Sykes had a big hit. The guys, they did what they had to do. They put the ball in play. They took their walks. And, if you put the ball in play, that greatly increases the chances of the other team making an error.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what South Johnston did. Their defense was extremely shaky those first 3 or 4 innings, and that's when the game was won or lost.
That's right.
Because if it wasn't for the errors, I believe the third baseman made one as well, maybe on a throw or something.
Second baseman.
Second baseman, I'm sorry.
He did make you're right, the third baseman did make one.
Yeah, and he threw wide at first base, and the shortstop there. We'd have had a totally different game. I mean, we'd have had a 1-run or maybe tie ball game going into the 6th or 7th inning. So Orange did what they had to do. When you get into playoffs, there's one thing that matters: if you win. And that's what they did. I think they played. They had some good things to carry over, and also some things that they need to continue to work on. But they're lucky they get the game here at home for Friday night, which is always good. And if they win that one, then they're guaranteed more home games because they have a series.
That's right.
After that, so it's looking forward. But depending on who's going to be on the mound and what they bring with them, it will determine how far Orange goes from here, to be honest with you. Because I would definitely say Bryce is out for Friday.
Yeah, he was running out of gas here tonight. He threw over 110 pitches, but overall, very solid effort for Orange as they win here tonight. They eliminate a good South Johnston team 6-3. Well, we'll be with you again on Friday night, 6 or 7 o'clock. We'll find out a time. We'll find out who Orange is playing. We've looked at the Triton Twitter account. Unfortunately, they aren't updating, and neither is anything from Topsail. But
They don't have Twitter in Topsail. They barely have running water in Topsail.
Let's see.
And you can tell them I said that because I ain't going to be here Friday.
Well, that's fine. You're going to be at the Durham Bulls, right?
Durham Bulls game Friday.
Okay.
Durham Bulls.
Now, what's going to propel you away from here?
HYA night
okay.
at the Durham Bulls Park.
Okay.
So we're all, me and Erica and Braden are going, and some of the guys that play for me. We're going to have a good time.
Well, I understand your Little League team's doing pretty good.
Yeah, doing pretty well. We're 4-2. You know, we have 2 games. Coaching cost us 2 games. You know, but other than that, we're 4-2.
Coaching
having a
cost
good time.
you the games.
Having 2, and we're going to have a few players that you'll probably see out here on this field one day.
Well, that's wonderful.
So, having a good time.
Well, I'm happy to hear that. And I want to thank you. Thanks to all our listeners here tonight for listening. And we'll be back with you on Friday for Orange versus either Triton or Thompson. Until then, thanks to you. Thanks to our sponsors, Cards Body and Paint Shop, Goss Water Pump Specialist, the Deer Hunters Association of America, Deer Pushers Association of America,
Skinny Law,
and Andy Andes. And thank you for listening to us here tonight on HillsboroSports.com.